I've had the distinct pleasure of trying out Turtle Beach's wireless flagship headset about 2 months prior to public launch, and thus far, I'm pretty impressed. However, this is a perfect example of how small quality of life bumbles can ruin an otherwise perfect headset. The core fundamentals of a good headset are here. It's comfortable, it sounds good, it's wireless with infinite battery life because it comes with 2 batteries which are hot swappable, and if that were the whole story of a headset, then you'd be walking home with this thing in your cart. However, there's other aspects we have to look at, such as warranty, built-in controls, the software program, and the overall fit and finish. And by the time I'm finished, you'll understand if this should fit on your head or not. Let's get it. A quick disclaimer for my audience, the Stallions and Stallionettes, this headset was sent for review, but this is going to be an honest, comprehensive review. I haven't been paid or told to say anything about them, so if there's any cons, shortcomings, or areas of improvement, you're going to hear about it. So these companies make better products over time. Now, before we dive into this headset, I want to start with the summary, get some of the key features out of the way, as they are claiming that this is the new king of wireless. So this is obviously their flagship, their highest end, most expensive, and also most feature-rich or packed headset. Now, cutting through a bunch of this marketing jargon and starting right about here, this does have the 50mm nano clear drivers. That's their marketing name, the nano clears, trademarked. But overall, in the past, I have been impressed with Turtle Beach's 50mm drivers. Active noise cancellation, or ANC, love to see it as long as it's implemented correctly, which a lot of times it isn't. And their newest boom mic, which is removable. It is TrueSpeak, another marketing gimmick name, but it should be supremely clear for a built-in microphone on a headset. I do strongly recommend going for the Xbox version. They are priced identically at $330. Here's the kicker, here's why. So the Xbox version, which, praise the Lord, is the version that I was sent from Turtle Beach, is compatible with the PlayStation 4 and 5. However, the PlayStation version does not work with Xbox One and Series consoles. It's funny they put PlayStation/PC compatible. You don't need to put that in there. PC is going to have compatibility with a baked potato, a pager, whatever you want to dig up, an old dinosaur bone, probably going to work. And if it doesn't have native support from the manufacturer, you could probably find a third-party driver pack that will force compatibility. What are the differences between these headsets? Well, there's a green LED light here and there's a blue LED light over here. The box, the packaging is going to be different. The Xbox's station or hub has a green ring around it. PlayStation, you could probably guess and you would probably be correct. It's going to be blue. At its core, these are the same headsets. They have the same 50mm nano clear drivers, the same detachable microphone. So those 50mm nano clear drivers are 56% larger than 40mm drivers, or at least more surface area, which will definitely help with the low end frequencies, so that hard hitting bass. But the actual physical drivers, the hardware wouldn't be jack shit without some solid software to back it up, some virtual surround sound, and guess what? You have all the latest and greatest technologies, Windows Sonic, of course, because that's baked into Windows 10 and 11 PCs, and those Xbox One and Series consoles. Sony 3D Audio, which is the Tempest audio engine for the PlayStation 5 console, sounds phenomenal. Dolby Atmos, which as of late has been my favorite because it's object-based, and yeah, separate video on that. After riding the procrastination station for months, I finally hooked up my rear satellite speakers in the living room, and damn, yeah, video on that in the near future. You have pretty much infinite battery life because you can constantly hot swap the batteries. Leave one charging, leave one strapped to your noggin. These are some impressive numbers as well. 15 minutes of charge time gives you 3 hours of playtime. Bluetooth 5.1, fantastic. This feature is freakishly convenient. You can be linked up to your phone via Bluetooth, so you're taking calls and getting text notifications, maybe talking to your voice assistant, but yet you are still paired up separately to your Xbox or PlayStation console, or PC. Your gaming device, we'll say that, which is awesome that it can be running those 2 communication protocols and no issues there. Dual connectivity. I love to see that, or hear it in this case. All right, microphone, whole section for it later. Application, full tour of it later. Gosh darn dang it. Oh, this is much different. This actually looks much better. If this is the same application, it's got a facelift and a tummy tuck. I can't even recognize it, and that's a good thing because I wasn't a fan. As for the packaging and included accessories on Turtle Beach's $330 flagship wireless headset, it's decent. It opens up with a nice little presentation. However, this is just some cardboard, not laser cut foam or anything like that. A couple of desiccant packets in here. Make sure you dispose of those properly. You're going to be greeted with Turtle Beach's slogan, "Hear everything, defeat everyone." I do believe that was introduced when they introduced Superhuman hearing, which is a mode that we'll talk about later. You're going to have a little sticker holding the boom mic in that says, "Keep Stealth Pro up to date at Turtle Beach, blah, blah, blah." We're going to do the update. Don't worry about it, Turtle Beach. We got you covered. And it's also a tamper seal as well, as this is, you have to rip this to get your boom mic out. Ooh, that's flexible and squishy too, with rubber and soft on the outside. Cut costs on the packaging for sure and put it into the actual product, please. Once you lift up the top deck, it will have a box that says start here. Be sure to update the headset and the transmitter. Double doozy, if you will. There's a bunch of cool stuff in there. You're going to have your transmitter / charger, which we're going to talk about this later. This is missing one core feature that I was so hoping, so wishing on a single knee, wishing and praying that this headset had, because that would make it just a... The hell's this? Good. Windows security didn't find any viruses. That's good. You already know where I'm going with this. Go XLR support, or any mixer for that matter. On the start here box, you are going to have a little blippy hole on this side. Just take your index finger and give it a quick little blip, and it'll pop out like that. And this is going to have some literature material, as well as a very nice carrying bag. Now, there is no carrying case, no hard clamshell case, but this is very nice, soft satiny material. It's like suede, but awkwardly enough, the inside, which is actually making contact with your headset, isn't as nice and plush as compared to the outside, which your hands are making contact with. Turtle Beach logo right here, all blacked out, and a little rubber pull tab right there. In that literature box, you are going to have 3 pieces of documentation. This is telling you to register your headset in order to activate the 1-year warranty. 1 year is decent, that's standard in North America. However, with a flagship headset, it would be great to see something a little bit better than the bare minimum.
Okay, 15 is the minimum. Okay?
Okay.
Now, if you feel that the bare minimum is enough, then okay.
This is your regulatory compliance information that has to ship with all consumer electronic goods, telling you not to choke out your little brother with the USB-C cord and use this thing like a frisbee with your dog, and things that sound wild, but people have done it. And this is your instruction manual, actually a quick start guide, if you will, that folds out into a 3-piece and a biscuit. You could go anywhere to get an articulate review of a headset, but you come here for witty zingers like that. You're going to have your compatibility chart, which will of course have an additional platform if you get the Xbox version, as it will work on PlayStation. We're going to test for any limitations. Kind of difficult to get to these cables. I want at you, but I can't get to you. You have this toggle switch. It'll say either Xbox and PC or PS and PC. And then you're going to have a USB-A port that says charge only, so that's only to get juice to this dock, and then a USB-C port that says console/PC, and that is for connectivity. And 4 rubberized feet on the bottom, so this shouldn't go slip-sliding around your desk. It still kind of does because it's very light. So this is going to be a communication transmitter to the headset to be used wirelessly, as well as a charging dock for the swappable battery. Now, is there one already installed in there? Yes, indeed there is. You do have the 2 batteries included. Badass. So you have infinite battery life because you leave one charging, it'll give you 12 hours of battery life, and it has that quick charging that we talked about earlier. So yeah, battery life is not going to be an issue with this headset at all. I also like that you have this little plastic cover or shroud for when you're not using the microphone. Okay. 3 distinct steps, up, medium, and down. Pretty damn sure that's going to be flipped to mute, and it is very flexible. You are going to have 2 front-facing microphones, and that is going to be for the active noise canceling. Literally no controls on the left ear cup, however, that is where your microphone is. On the right ear cup is where all the business happens. You do have a USB-C port if you want to charge the headset directly and not use this transmitter dock. You do have a power, Bluetooth, and supersonic hearing button, and an LED indicator, which will be green on the Xbox version, blue on the PlayStation version. They'll still both go red to indicate low battery and whatnot, status if you will. As for size adjustment on the headband, good amount of resistance, feels pretty secure as well, despite the fact this is plastic and this is metal. You don't have any distinct notches or steps, which I do prefer, but this does feel like it's going to hold place. Padding on the top feels very supple, but more on this during the comfort section. Oh, are these not magnetized? You son of a biscuit. It'd be awesome if these were hot swappable with magnets. They just popped right off. I prefer that method. However, these are better than the ones that had that little lip or trough where you have to snake it around. Those are a real pain in the butt. And there you can see your 50mm nano cell slap me sideways drivers in there. As for the comfort, oh, these are insanely comfortable. Just initial impressions wise. I don't know about long gaming sessions yet. These are completely sealed back, and they don't have any moisture wicking material here. This is just pleather or leatherette material. Actually, this might be real leather. Very soft, very supple, feels great on the ears. I could picture my ears getting hot and sweaty though in a long gaming session. We'll find out. Dreamboat. Yeah, it's comfy as hell. Connecting to the PC is wildly easy. You only need to use the USB-C port that says console/PC, the other USB-A port that says charge only. Yes, indeed, is going to be a charge port for that battery pack. But once you put the dip switch into PC mode, plug it into your PC, hold down the power button for 2 seconds, and she will connect. Oh, she said something about battery level. It was either high or critically low, one or the other. Oh no, this has mic monitoring on hard. We're turning that off. How is that possible? I don't have the mic connected. I guess it's just using the other built-in microphones. Battery level high. It does take about 8 to 10 seconds every time you turn it on for it to do its little wireless connection. When you connect the headset, it will take control of your Windows sound, but just to double check that, go ahead and right-click the sound icon, go to sound settings. Our output, so what we're actually hearing, is going to our new speakers, the Stealth Pro Xbox, and the input, so our microphone, is also switched over to the new Stealth Pro. All the controls are handled with these 4 buttons on the right ear cup. Yeah, it looks like it's just flush and might be a decoration, but it's an actual button. It's a 2-parter. You can press it, and you can have a second functionality for holding it down for 3 seconds. The Superhuman button, which has the stippling or is textured, you're going to hold it down for 1 second. It will engage or de-engage Superhuman hearing mode. I just turned that sucker off. The power button is going to do just that, power the headset on and off, and this is going to be the Bluetooth multifunction button. Since this does have dual connectivity, you're going to be able to pick up phone calls, talk to your voice assistant while you're still paired up to your Xbox or PlayStation console or PC. And then this function button over here can be assigned to all of these functions, which is a lot. Let's download the app. On PC, to get the Turtle Beach Audio Hub, which is the software for this product, you are going to select your model from the drop down. They do already have these added, which is great because these aren't even out to the public yet, but Stealth Pro, we have the Xbox version. I like to see this as well, support for both Windows and Mac. Step 1 is to power on your headset. I'm going to rest it around my neck. Hello? Here we go. Was having a little issue. I toggled it over to Xbox and then back over to the PC and it snapped back to life. We're all good here now. So speaking for the Windows application, not fantastic. You can't full screen this. You can't even pinch the corners and resize it. Also, the font looks super low resolution. I don't know if it's just too small. I'll crop in here and you'll see what I mean. It looks like how text used to look on a PlayStation 2 or Xbox 360, a little pixelated and whatnot. This is going to give you the status of your headset, the volume that it is connected, the battery life, and what mode you're in, currently PC. Rather than being a summary of these 3 tabs, dashboard actually has some of its own selections. Over here, an EQ preset, which you can bind to one of the physical buttons on the headset to be able to swap between them. Me personally, when using a Turtle Beach headset, I always keep it in signature sound, which is the most flat equalizer, gives you the most natural, realistic sound. Or on some of the budget TV headsets, it sounded a little bit flat. Bass and treble boost mode brightened them up a little bit. Signature sound, as these have those 50mm nano clear, I'll slap you sideways drivers, it doesn't need any help in the software equalizer department. Just give me the flat EQ, please. Treble boost, no. Bass boost, no. Vocal boost, get out of here. Chat boost, I don't want it. Game and chat blend, put her right down the old middle-de-diddle. Active noise cancellation, I want it on, but I do have a toggle to be able to turn it on and off. You do have 4 separate equalizer modes for the microphone. Signature sound is just going to be flat, but if you need a little assistance, maybe you have a fan overhead or something, clarity or smooth might help you out. Along that lines, you do have a software noise gate, which is going to cut out background noise, like I just mentioned, a fan. Mic sensitivity, I would leave this at the default of 50 unless you're loud as hell, constantly breathing in the microphone. Taper it back. If you're soft-spoken, amplify yourself. Mic monitoring volume, just shut it right on off. I personally don't like to hear myself recycled. I don't like to hear myself through my headset, so I leave mic monitoring off. Superhuman hearing, you will be able to enable and disable, as it does have its own dedicated button just for superhuman hearing, because Turtle Beach is all about it. It boosts up mid-range frequencies where footsteps would generally be, so you can get a competitive edge where you can hear people sneaking up on you or reloading on the other side of the wall, stuff like that. Here's the thing, there's 2 sides of the camp when it comes to this. Those that think that's an unfair advantage because it's basically artificially pumping in sound that isn't in the game. I wouldn't go that far considering it's just an equalizer tweak on your headset, but I will say it is not going to do any favors for you becoming better at first-person shooters or competitive third-person shooters or any such thing where you're listening for audio cues, because instead of you hearing the natural sound that the game developer has placed in the game, you're hearing only footsteps and not any of the other sounds. And in that aspect, in some games, the footsteps are so amplified that it's a big bowl of audio soup and that's all you hear is... It's atrocious, and I always leave it off. In the equalizer tab, these adjustments aren't going to do anything for you until you toggle on this equalizer switch. You are able to individually drag and drop these 10 bands to your liking. And you do have 3 separate equalizers. Game is going to be for your actual in-game sound. Bluetooth is going to be for connection to your phone, tablet, whatever the Bluetooth connection's for, and then mic is going to be your voice output. Over here in Customize, auto shut off is at 30 minutes by default. I would recommend putting this at 5 minutes just to save battery life. Granted, you do have that hot swappable method of infinite battery battery life. It's good practice with wireless headsets. If you're not using them, there's no sound being pumped through the drivers because you paused your game. It just shuts them off after 5 minutes. So the voice prompt that comes on when you power on the headset to let you know your battery level, which was pretty quiet for me. I'm going to bump it up a little bit. And then also your beeps. And this is pretty damned sweet. You can actually set up 4 different functions for that one individual button. 2 for PC, tapping it and holding it down, and 2 for being in console mode when you switch over that toggle. Pretty awesome, because a lot of the times what I would want that button to do on console is completely different than what I would like it to do on PC. For example, the default on PC is mic monitoring, which I'm going to turn off and leave off indefinitely, so I can assign this to something else. Game and chat mix, once you press that button, it will allow you to use the actual dial wheel, the volume wheel, to take control of game and chat mix, and then hit it again, it goes back to volume. Now there is no apply button, so once you select these, it will activate. And if you want to set up some keyboard hotkeys, you can do so here. To do that initial update that is strongly recommended from the manufacturer, click on this cog icon in the bottom right, and nothing's happening, but it should be popping up with a little box that says, hey, do the update. This is not going to get exemplary marks. She's working now. Click on that cog icon. This will pop up. Firmware is going to be up to date, considering this headset isn't even available for public purchase yet. However, if you get this after launch, do that initial update. It will be right here. As with all the other Turtle Beach headsets that I've tested on the channel, going through the equalizer preset modes on the headset will give you a little beep to let you know what mode you're in. 1 beep for signature sound, which is where I leave her. 2 beeps for bass boost. 3 for bass and treble boost, so on and so forth. So I was starting to wonder where the physical volume controls of this headset were, and we have to take a look at one of the worst designs I've ever seen. I just don't understand how this actually made it to production. So generally, to control volume, you'll have some kind of a scroll wheel or dial, or maybe you'll have 2 individual buttons, maybe a 3rd one for mute, or some headsets, for example, the licensed Xbox headset, which I have reviewed on the channel, has a big dial wheel on the side of the entire ear cup, which you rotate back and forth. This has that, but practically unspinnable. That's the little spin dish right there. You don't really have anywhere to grab. You just kind of, oh, I'm hitting buttons now. It is virtually impossible to spin this dial wheel, and that is your volume control. What I'm going to do, and I advise all owners of this headset to do, is to max out the headset volume, turn it to 100, and then use your slider in Windows. Now, if you're on console, you don't have that option. You're gonna have to be using this dial wheel. I know there's a headset volume slider on Xbox and PlayStation if you hit the home button on your controller. However, that is actually blocked out, grayed out, not controllable, because this is a wireless headset with its own control module. Unlike if you just try and plug in a 3.5mm headphone jack, pair of earbuds into the bottom of your controller, where you still have that volume slider, that is overpassed by this headset. So you are going to be using this volume wheel, which isn't just the fact that it is physically small, but there's also an insane amount of resistance. So hard to spin, and also not a lot of leverage. This application has had spotty connection with me in the past with previous Turtle Beach headsets on mobile, console, on PC. It's happening now. It's a pretty bad application. User interface is not smooth, and half the time it doesn't even work. Like right now, it won't connect to my headset. Had to flip the dip switch back to Xbox and then back to PC. And another major con, every single time this headset is powered on, mic monitoring is on by default, even when you have the microphone removed. The removable boom mic, you have it detached. However, since this has active noise cancellation, you're also going to get the perk or benefit of mic monitoring constantly. If you hate it, it's on every single time you power on this headset. So this is a microphone test, not with the boom mic, but with the built-in ANC or active noise cancellation microphones. Why is this in front of me? I'm not even using that. How does it sound? Okay, so I see how that works. Awesome. So when you use this microphone, it is using the same output method, the same output source, if you will. But then when you plug in this boom arm, it just reroutes it to this much higher quality external microphone, as opposed to the ANC built-in microphones, which are just supposed to listen to sounds and cancel out noise around you, not reproduce your voice. How do I sound? This is with the clarity mode, the voice clarity mode. This is voice full mode, voice full mode. My voice is full. This is the smooth preset, smooth as butter. And this is signature sound. John Hancock, the old signature. Oh my lord. Well, oh my goodness. So Sony and Bose, in my opinion, are kind of the kings of active noise cancellation with over-the-ear headphones, and this is literally right on par with those. I can't hear jack shit right now. I feel like I'm in a seclusion chamber right now or something. Okay, so as to not give the ANC too much praise here, a lot of that is actually just the design of these soft memory foam ear cups actually sealing over my ear. It actually cuts out a ton of background noise in my room, such as my PC fans. And then you engage the digital ANC, cuts out even more. Yeah, nothing voluminess. Sick. I want to do a Dolby Atmos test with this headset. Back in our sound settings, I'm going to select the speakers that we are using. Come down here to spatial audio. Nothing is selected by default. We are going to engage. Oh boy. I don't see Dolby. No big deal. Let's launch our Dolby Access app. Bizarro land. So I already have an active Dolby Atmos license. I've had it for years, and that comes for free anytime you buy a Dolby Atmos approved soundbar, surround sound, headset, etc. And turning it on, it should automatically. Yeah, interesting. With the headset powered on, if it is a Dolby Atmos approved device in the Dolby Access application, it should pop up a demo mode, and that is not happening here. This headset is definitely a mixed sack for me because it has outstanding audio quality, infinite battery life, it's pretty damn comfortable, multi-platform compatibility. However, so many little nitpicky quality of life complaints that it almost makes the big features not even worth it. For example, mic monitoring comes on by default, and you can't switch it off unless you go into the PC mode because you can only bind it to the scroll dial wheel. That doesn't even really take effect of it, so I have to go into my PC and deactivate it every time I turn it on. Speaking of turning on, it takes about 10 to 15 seconds to successfully pair up to the PC. Sometimes that doesn't happen. You have to toggle it to Xbox mode, then back to PC. This is a pre-release product, so I'm sure it will get better over time with patches and updates, and I'm sure a lot of this will get massaged out. The biggest con, hands down, has to be that dial wheel for volume control, but it's not just volume control, it's also the multifunction control as well. Basically, you use that dial wheel for chat game blend and a bunch of other stuff. I really wish Turtle Beach would have just gone with 2 traditional dial wheels or scroll wheels. They don't like those? Cool. Take the button route. Anything other than what landed on the production room floor here. This headset does sound phenomenal. However, there are sets of cans that stand shoulder to shoulder, such as the Astro A50, and 2 of the SteelSeries flagship models, such as the Nova Pro, that are priced almost identically. Those headsets also have docks or control hubs with a 3.5mm out jack, where you can connect to a mixer, such as a Go XLR, and don't have a lot of these little setbacks that make this headset not a pleasure to use on a day-to-day basis. This pair of headphones is linked in the description below. Drop in the comment section below what you're using to hear your game sound. Earbuds, earphones, cans, over-the-ear, on-ear, soundbar, speakers built into your TV. Don't do that. And I'll see you Stallions and Stallionettes tomorrow. Peace. If you enjoyed the video, liking it helps it to get seen by more gamers. This information will reach and assist them as well, which in turn helps me grow this little channel, which I do greatly appreciate. Subscribe for more content like this. I cover news in the gaming community and industry, tutorials helping you get set up streaming and YouTubing, as well as honest gaming product reviews, keyboards, mice, headsets, controllers, mics, chairs, etc. There are some hefty exclusive discount codes found only in the description of my videos and only for the audience here at GamerHeaven. I have links to all my other platforms and socials in the description below. To get in touch with myself and the Stallions and Stallionettes of GamerHeaven, join the community Discord, and check me out at twitch.tv where I go live every other leap year on a blue moon if it falls into an odd calendar number, and my pH balance is on point. Just kidding, starting June I'm going to be live streaming a lot. Thanks for watching. This has been AK40 Kevin hosting GamerHeaven, and I'll see you tomorrow because I upload daily, all the time, 60% of the time, sometimes, most of the time. Peace.